Welcome. This is what is happening on the Sun today, the 11th of May 2011. On this day, the HMS Beagle was launched. That was the ship that took Darwin on his epic voyage of scientific discovery and led to his signature work, The Origin of Species. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday we had regions popping up all over the place and growing rapidly, accompanied by some interesting solar activity. Today, many of those regions are decaying or have gone, and we've had very little activity over the last 24 hours. Let's take a look and see what's happened to the sunspot regions. We're losing region 1203 and 1204 over the west limb. The small unnumbered region that was trailing them seems to be decaying. Region 1209 is all but gone. Region 1210 is hanging in there, as is region 1208. Region 1211 is just a couple of small spots, and I don't think it'll be with us much longer. And the small region that came over the limb yesterday has decayed away to a single spot. The really interesting thing is the region that gave us the coronal mass ejection yesterday. I was expecting to see some large spots coming over the east limb, but there isn't any. There is just a small area of plage. Either that flare yesterday was this region's last hurrah, or we had a very rare phenomenon, a spotless flare. So let's take a look at the movies from the Solar Dynamics Observatory and see how these regions have decayed. In particular, look at the magnetic movie, where you can see how much simpler and weaker these regions have become. From the NOAA GOES plot you can see the X-ray background has fallen quite significantly, and we've had just a medium level B flare. However, that is also a long duration event, so it implies it's associated with the coronal mass ejection. We can find out where the event was from the SDO data. Looking at the corona movie, if you look at the northwest towards the end of the sequence, you can see a fairly impulsive flare. And similarly, you can see a filament erupt in the helium-304 movie. Unfortunately, the SOHO coronagraph data is not available for the time period of the coronal mass ejections yet, but we do see a comet crashing into the Sun in the movie, and I made a video about that earlier today. However, we do get a view of the coronal mass ejection heading towards the Earth, which is on the left in these images from the stereo A data. Now let's see what the effect of all this activity is on geospace. Here's a plot from the ACE spacecraft showing the characteristics of the solar wind. At the bottom in green is the temperature, showing that it's varying between about 500,000 and a million degrees. The next graph up in yellow is the speed, showing how highly variable the solar wind is. It's been down to as low as 320 and as high as 400 in the last 24 hours. Next one is an important one, which is density, and you can see that the density of the solar wind went well above 40 particles per cubic centimetre, which compares with about less than 1 per cubic centimetre normally. The auroral zone looks a little more active than yesterday, and the KP index has been varying between 1 and 3, which is still ranked as quiet. So in summary then, the sunspot number increased slightly to 98, the X-ray background fell to B2 level, radio sun flux fell to 98 solar flux units, solar wind speed is about 370 km per second, and the KP index is rated as quiet. So my forecast for the next 24 hours is the chance of getting a C flare is still quite good, but the chance of getting an M or an X flare is very low. I think we'll still get coronal mass ejections regularly. That geomagnetic storm from yesterday still might occur. If you would like more details, check out the links in the description box below. So that's it for today. Keep safe. Bye for now.